Chris Mackowski of Emerging Civil War. I'm in Brunswick, Maine with my ECW colleague, Brian Swartz. Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Chris.
It is awesome to be back in Maine, and it's awesome to be spending some time with you.
And same here.
So we've got Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain standing over our shoulders here. His house is across the street from us. So we're at like the epicenter of Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain stuff. You've written the great ECW biography, Passing Through the Fire, about Chamberlain. What do you like about this guy?
His dedication to preserving the Union. He gets shot to pieces and he insists on going back. He was also the epitome of the American citizen soldier, a college professor, signs on as lieutenant colonel and learns how to lead men and ultimately lead a brigade, and just hung in the war all the way to the end. And
that service, I always kind of think of it as the Bruce Springsteen glory days for Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, because it becomes kind of the central defining feature of the rest of his life.
It is the defining feature of his life. Even though he became a 4-term Maine governor, Bowdoin College president, the effects of the war, the closer relationships he developed with comrades, the loss of men that he knew real well affected him the rest of his life. He became very much involved in Veterans Affairs, the Grand Army of the Republic, regimental reunions, reunions at Gettysburg. He would, anywhere that he could possibly show up and either speak, at least attend an event that involved Civil War veterans, he would be there right to the very end.
And he's got a pretty extraordinary career in public service as an officer, as a governor, as a college president. He's the kind of figure that you want to look at, you want to know about, but some people are like, oh, he's overexposed because of the movie, and there's a Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain cottage industry, and some people maybe think like, he doesn't deserve all that attention. What do you think about that?
He certainly deserves the attention. He proved with his own capabilities, his own blood, that he was not just a glory-seeking officer seeking advancement, even though he definitely wanted to become general by the fall of 1863, but he wasn't the only colonel that wanted to become a general during the Civil War. He just, I believe he was kind of dedicated to a life of service. I mean, he didn't need to be the governor of Maine 4 terms running, dealing with the legislature that he had, and James G. Blaine, the godfather, shall we say, of the Maine Republican Party, and also coming down here to Bowdoin College, even though it was the epitome of his economic well-being. I mean, it was a very well-paying job. He had to deal with a lot of personalities here, and in some ways, it was probably more difficult than being in the military, where you did what you were ordered to do, and you didn't talk back. But to me, he epitomized the talent that Maine developed during the Civil War in terms of the officers and enlisted men who left this state and went off and fought for the Union.
That sense of duty caused some tension in his marriage, though.
Yes. He was not a dedicated stay-at-home husband.
Okay.
But most men of his generation and his education would not have been. Mm-hmm. They were very much involved in men's groups or pursuing their careers. He and Fanny lost 3 of their 5 children, including the last one, the little girl that was born in 1865. And for some reason, the war led him away from his wife and his marriage, and he never quite got back to either one. He was very close to his 2 children who survived, but as far as being a loving husband, he was not. I will stress, though, that I believe he was a faithful husband. You do not find Chamberlain being affiliated with all sorts of women like Judson Kilpatrick or some of these other Civil War.
Not a lot of salacious rumors circulating around his legacy.
No.
No. So we're here in Brunswick. Any suggestions for folks if they want to come and check out Chamberlain?
Make sure you come and visit the Joshua Chamberlain house across the street from us. Walk around Bowdoin College. I'm sure you can find online which buildings he was affiliated with, either lived in or taught in. And then behind us, of course, we have the statue. And right across the street on the other side is the church where he and Fanny met and where they were married. And basically he worshiped that for the bulk of his marital life, I would say. Yeah.
And I want to encourage you to check out Brian's great book, Passing Through the Fire, Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain in the Civil War. Also, check out Brian's work at Maine at War. We give you links on our blog at emergingcivilwar.com, but if you go straight to his site, you're going to just see great stuff every week. I love it.
Thank you very much.
That's what got me. That's what made me a Brian Swartz fan, was his blog.
Thank you.
I'm Chris Mackowski with Brian Swartz in Brunswick, Maine for Emerging Civil War. We'll see you online and on the battlefield.